Really
That's
like
great.
the idea of identifying what things are connected to, whatever it is. If it's a relational anxiety, if it's something else, to say that there's something kind of deeper that's connected to. So rather than just like kind of dwelling in the top 2 feet of the emotion, to do a little
Yes.
shipwreck diving and to say, what's that connected to? This is connected to me having experienced abandonment, that maybe that will happen again. And so now that I know what it's connected to, it isn't that it sucks all the emotion out of the room, but it gives you a context. So now we have a context, we have a backdrop. They just go like, oh, this is that again.
Right.
It's not discounting it, it's understanding it. So speak to us about that and how you help parents and children figure out context and this connection between what you're feeling and what might be like kind of an unmet need that's underneath it.
Well, I love that you use that word, because when I was doing the research for this book, one of the sentences that came up so many times was anxiety is always searching for context. And, the reality is we're kind of set up to deal with anxiety, most of us, whether it's from a genetic standpoint, whether it's our personalities, whether it's the stage of life we're in, whatever is going on, we're wired for that in different seasons. And so it's almost like this radar that's just scanning for something to attach to. And if I were to bring a group of kids on this call of different ages, I could predict to you what their anxious thoughts would be around the most. And for little bitty ones, it's being away from their parents, something bad happening to their mom or dad. They get to be a third grader and they went to a birthday party and someone threw up, and now they can't stop thinking about throwing up every time their tummy gets the least bit funky. And they get a little bit older and it shifts again. And it's basically, well, let me say too, it's why parents will say to me so often in my office, I never had any anxiety until I became a parent. Because basically, I think it attaches to the thing that matters most to us at the time. And that's kind of our biggest currency in that, our biggest skin in the game. And so that's what our intrusive thoughts, which is what our anxious thoughts are, what they loop around. And so if as a person, you're working on this project that matters to you and you feel like God has prompted you to write, or you felt this passion about doing it for a long time, of course, it's going to be something that you loop about. But what my experience is it's never about the thing. It's never really about throwing up. It's never really about being away from my mom and dad. It's never really about even the kids. It may be that I'm grieving about something else, or I feel like I'm not equipped for some other thing that's happening in my life. There's something deeper, like you're saying, that then the context attaches to. And so how can we, it's almost like there are different levels of context. How can we go beneath that initial presenting context, which is what our thoughts are looping around, to the deeper?